Welcome to Spiritual Truth with your host, Kerry-Marie. Today I'm speaking with Lisa O'Neill. Lisa is a motivational speaker, an author, and a mentor. She's a lady full of lots of life experience, wisdom, and positivity. And I'm sure you'll find this podcast truly enlightening and empowering. If you like this podcast, please like, and to help the podcast, we'd love it if you could kindly subscribe to our channel. Blessings and love, Kerry-Marie. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, great to see you again. I've only sort of met you once. That was actually a wonderful experience for me, and I was really drawn to come up and talk to you, have a chat about what you can offer my podcast, Spiritual Truth, because I felt you got a lot to offer. So when I first set eyes on you, it was at the Hyatt. Was it the Hyatt?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes,
In
it was the
Auckland. Yeah.
Hyatt in Auckland,
Yes.
and it was a master's electricians ladies lunch that I go and I take my staff along. So we have an electrical company and I take the girls along. Once a year, they love it. And we always have these speakers. And yeah, so one of the girls on my team, she's just really lovely, but she always says it as it is. You know, she's very honest. And oh my goodness, when you walked in, I just saw her eyes just wouldn't stop looking at you. It was amazing. In fact, at every table in this room at this ladies' lunch, every woman, you had them all engaged. Everyone, no one, it was no yawns, there was no shuffles. It was just this wonderful bubble of pink. You're wearing pink, beautiful, bright energy. And you just had this vibration that uplifted everybody and spoke to everyone's heart. It was just incredible. And I just thought, oh, this lady's got so much to offer the
Thank
world
you. That's
actually.
really
So it
nice.
was
That's so
like,
nice.
and I just thought, yeah, and you're funny. I giggled and we laughed, and I just also really enjoyed the way that you unashamedly, Lisa, absolutely
Yeah.
unashamedly yourself,
Well, there's no
right?
one else to be, right? Like I always go, there's no one
Yeah.
else to be. And I think our job is to be ourselves. I think to work out who we are and then to be self-expression is a really big piece for me. And I think if everyone could just get really good at being them,
Yeah,
the world would be so much better,
it
than
would
everyone
be.
running around. Like if I try and be you and you try and be me, it's just a mess. And it's like I can take a teaspoon of you. I can go, oh, Kerry-Marie's lovely. I'd like a wee teaspoon of her in my life, but I don't have to be you. And it's like people often say to me, oh, I want to be you. And I'm like, I'm already taken. All right, you go be you. And you can get inspired by other people, but don't try and be them, you know?
It's so interesting. I was just having this conversation with Andre
Ah, nice.
about and to my team as well. And it's about I can be inspired by other people, like
Yep,
especially other mediums and stuff like that. But I need to be Kerry-Marie and you need to be
100%.
Lisa. And we
Yeah.
are just talking about comparisons just before
Oh,
we
yeah,
got
and I really
on.
like, is it Theodore Roosevelt said comparison's the thief of joy? And I think that's so true. It's like whenever you're in comparison, you're just messing with yourself. Like
You are. Can you tell us
you're
more
messing
about
with
that?
yourself. Like if I compare myself to you, I'm instantly lowering my vibration and everything goes yucky. It's no good. So
It's
compare
no
anytime
good.
you compare yourself, I think is and I've had a life of comparing myself, like a lot of perfectionism and a lot of that shit. And I have to catch myself still daily and go, no, no, that's not helpful. Like there's no need to do that. I have to tell myself off and redirect my thinking all the time.
So it's interesting. So this isn't just like, oh, I just think I will just I'll be like this. I won't compare myself anymore. What you're saying to me is I've got to keep reminding myself of
What's
this.
daily work? I think it's all daily work. Like I think we just fall off our little bandwagons all the time. You
Yeah.
think, oh, I'm going to be a lovely person, and then the next day you're awful, and you think, oh no, and then you go, no, no, back to the middle, like back to the middle. And life's really hard, so it's easy to fall off the bandwagon of I'm going to be this lovely person, and you're like, well, actually, today I'm not. Today I'm a bitch, and that's just what you. And tomorrow I'll apologize. It's like to me, it's just keeping yourself centered, and you've got to keep coming back to your middle.
Right. Yeah.
And I think if everyone could understand their center and come back to their middle,
Yeah.
I feel like that would help a lot in the world.
Yeah. I hear the word authentic,
Yeah.
to be authentic and to be human.
Yeah,
And
being
also,
human. And I think people
yeah.
think like authenticity, they sometimes put on a bit of a show about this is my authenticity. And I'm like, no, it's not. That's your fake brand of yourself. It's
Right.
not, it's who you want to be, but it's not who you really are. And what do you really think? But we made wrong from such an early age about everything we think and do and be that we suddenly go, I'm not okay. Like from the age of 1, we get messages that we're not okay. And
Mm.
like if you look at anyone under 1, oh, they're just
Right.
delightful because they don't know they're
Yeah.
not, they just think everything about them's divine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They are literally divine and they haven't been made wrong. And then you start to watch little children when they get told, oh no, you're no good because you didn't eat your dinner, or you're no good because you didn't sit still. And it's like, and we just get made wrong and wrong and wrong and wrong. And then you wake up one
Mm.
day and you can't find anything right about yourself.
It's interesting. I've written a book, only one book, not like you, but one of my earliest memories, believe it or not, was 8 months old.
Yeah.
And my father bought this new V8 car. It was a V8, big grey car. I still remember to this day about all my family and my brothers jumping in the car. And I just remember I wanted to get in this car and I wanted to get into this car. And I just, to in my brain, I can still recall it right back to 8 months of age, my brain. What is wrong? I just want to enjoy this car, this joy, this excitement to be part of it all. And I
Yeah.
remember just being held back. And I was so annoyed and angry.
Yeah.
And I can still recall that. And people can't believe I was 8 months old, but I was.
I remember the night my brother was
Mm.
born
Yeah.
and I was 20 months old. And I remember,
Wow.
yeah, so and people are like, you can't remember that. And I'm like, I remember waking up hearing milk bottles rattling. And I was on a
Mm.
stretcher in a floor in my auntie's bedroom. And I said, what's that? And she said, it's the milkman. And I said, why am I here? And she said, Mummy's had a baby, you've got a brother. And yeah, and I
Oh,
was 20 months old when he was born. So, and I remember, I can still hear the milk bottles rattling. It's funny, isn't it? Like that first
wow.
memory, I find that really interesting.
Yes, it is interesting and it's
Eight
very
months is
real.
crazy. That's crazy young.
Well, I can remember, and people don't believe me, but I can remember it
I
very
believe
well.
you. I believe
Oh,
you.
I know because because well, I don't know how old I was.
Right.
Actually, someone said I must have been 8 months. Whether I was, I can't, I wouldn't be able to stand up in court and say that. But someone told me I was 8 months, but I was very young.
Yeah, it could be.
And I just remember being held back and looking at it now logically, of course. So yes, so you walked into this room at the Master Electricians, I think, luncheon, ladies' lunch, and you're a motivational speaker, and honestly, you really are a motivational speaker. It's like you're just people are really drawn to you, and I'm not just saying that. It was like wow, that you are an amazing lady, and I mean very honest there. So. What drew you to this? What drew you to be in it? What's your background? What drew you to be this motivational
So I
speaker?
started off, it started with in the fashion industry. So I was a stylist and I
Yeah.
was working one-on-one with women. I always knew I wanted to help people to see themselves differently. And I didn't, and I love clothing and I love color. And I am really against people making themselves wrong. So, and I love the idea of, I love what happens when you take someone and dress them differently and they see themselves as a completely different person and they go, and you can see that they go, wow, I actually look good. And they may have been told their whole lives that they can't look good because they're too short or too fat or there's something about themselves they don't like visually. And then
Mm,
when you get to see the opportunity of them seeing themselves differently, they're like, wow. So
yeah.
people seeing themselves differently has kind of always been my master message, but I didn't really realize that. And I thought it was physical and it was in clothing. And I started doing these fashion events, and then people would ask me to come and speak to groups of women. And it started at 30 in a retail store, and then it went to, and then the store said, oh, we've got too many people. So we ended up in a church hall, and it just ended up growing and growing. And then I approached Farmers Department Store in New Zealand and said to them, look, I've got this recipe where women really want to learn more, and you've got all these clothes and all this makeup and all these products that women want to buy. And I was heavily involved in Plunket at the time because I've got 4 children. So I was the Plunket president, as you do. And I thought, right, Plunket need the money. So I did this tour of New Zealand promoting products from farmers. All the money went to Plunket. The Plunket women set up, like the volunteers set up the halls and sold the tickets. And I remember we did our first ever event in Balclutha in the bottom of the South Island. And the cool thing is when you do events in places like Balclutha, no one goes there. So everyone comes out for the night. Like I remember doing an event in the West Coast and oh, it was so much fun. And I was in this hall and there was just hundreds of women. And I went out to shut the doors just before we started. And I was kind of a bit of a one-man band, really. So I had to kind of present and open the doors and take the tickets and I went out to shut the doors. There was a man standing on the footpath and I said, "Oh, are you okay?" And he said, "Oh, look, I'm actually the mayor." And he said, "Can I come in?" He said, "I've been told there's like 200 women here." And I said, "Yeah." He said, "I didn't know we had 200 women lived here." And I said, "Come
Mm.
in." And so he came in and he was like, wow, like this is extraordinary. And it was just a really fun event. And I did that for years. And then one day I literally was on stage and a woman asked me a question and I just thought, I don't care. I I don't care what color you wear. I don't care what neckline you have. I don't care what shape you are. I was just done. I literally remember the moment where it's like every cell in my body lost interest. And I went, I,
Wow.
I don't care anymore. I can't do this anymore. And it was like
Mm.
my energy had moved on. And I knew what had happened was all these women were coming to me going, "Oh, I don't like this and I don't like that." And I was going, "Yeah, here you go, get a new top. Here you go, try some earrings. Here you go, cut your hair." And I'm like, actually, it's more than that. It's about going
Mm.
inside. It's about understanding your energy. It's about making some decisions. It's about getting some clarity about what you want out of life. So I really moved heavily into that space. And so I wrote a book called Look Gorgeous, Be Happy. And that was around how do you be happy? And then my second book was called Juggling in High Heels, and that was about living in chaos because I had 4 kids under whatever age, and it was mental. And I was working full time, and I loved it. And it was like, how do you live in chaos and how do you juggle all the balls? So that was kind of my vibe. And I did a lot of work with sort of younger women who were in the same world as I was, like helping them manage the guilt and the drama of managing a young family while trying to live a life that they had
Mm.
wanted for themselves. So that became a really big energy. And then I really noticed a lot of middle-aged women struggling with losing themselves, like just
Yeah.
they put themselves down to build a family or a business or whatever they did, and they forgot to pick themselves up. And
Mm.
I was like, wow, I just want to scoop all of you up and remind you who you are and why you're here and help you get back in touch with yourselves because they were so
Mm.
disconnected. So that then
Mm.
I kind of got into that. Then I realized, then I saw all these men struggling out in the world and business, disconnected, not allowed to be themselves. And so I started doing a lot of leadership work because I think to be a good leader, you've got to be someone worth following and you've got to understand yourself.
Mm.
So the self-awareness stuff in corporate, I spend a lot of time doing. And yeah, so anyway, it just kind of all just happened. It just all happened. And I just
Oh.
always followed my threads, just followed whatever energy I was on. And I'm very intuitive. So I just go, "Oh, no, I don't want to do that now. I'm going to go over here." And people are like, "Are you mad?" Like when I was
Mm.
in fashion, I had this contract with farmers and I was Women's Weekly fashion editor. And everyone was like, "You can't walk away from that." And I was like, "No, I can't not. Like, I just can't not.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
It would be actually self-abuse if I made myself still do that." And I
Yeah.
think we get trapped in that all the time. We go, "Oh, I'm an accountant." And then we be an accountant. And then you go, "But what if you did something different?" You go, "No, no, but I'm an accountant." And so you
Mm.
stick with it. And it's like, but your energy's left the
Yeah.
building. You don't want to do that anymore. And people stay. And this is how they get so squashed down because they're
Mm.
not living into who they're becoming or what they now want, which is why I
Authentic.
wrote Everything You Want.
It's
um,
that authentically, not living authentically.
Yeah, and just living with who they are right now, because who we are today is different than who we were yesterday, like in
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah. I also feel that you're also quite directed from what you're saying to me, hearing like you're directed. I feel that, and I feel
Yeah.
been
I've
directed
always felt
spiritually.
directed and I follow that. Like I call it my
Yeah.
thread and I just follow
Mm.
I know Louise Hay always called it her inner ding. And it's like, you get a ding, or I feel like I'm being pulled by a thread and I'm being direct, come over here, come over there.
Mm.
And I end
Mm.
up in really bizarre rooms. Like I end up in rooms full of electricians or rooms full of lawyers. And I'm like, what, why am I here? And I'm like, oh, well, I must meant to be here. I must
Right.
be meant to be here. So I really like the idea of telling spirit to guide me, like
Yeah.
take me where I need to go, show me what I need to know. And
Absolutely.
I'm really into that. So I'm like, just use me for whatever good I can.
Oh,
I think that's
oh,
a nice way. I think everyone that's an ideal way to live. It's like we all have these talents and abilities, and it's like, good, now put me where I need to be. And I don't need
yeah.
to understand it. I'm like, really? Okay, I'm talking to them. All right. I'm
Yeah.
talking to
Just
engineers.
just
Okay.
go with
Like,
go with the
yeah.
flow. Go with the
Yeah, and it's
flow.
really easy on a human level to doubt yourself and go, oh, what have I got to offer a room full of engineers? I'm a 55-year-old
Mm.
old woman, and I'm like, what have I got to offer this? And then I'm like, no, no, I must have something because I wouldn't be here otherwise.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like the imposter syndrome, isn't it?
Oh, see, I don't even believe in imposter syndrome.
But it is like that, isn't it? It's like people
Yeah,
think,
but it's
yeah.
bullshit. Like imposter syndrome has been designed
I love
to
that.
keep people small. And it's like for me, I always want to be in a room where I feel not quite enough because it pushes me to grow and learn.
Right.
And
Yeah.
people go, oh, I felt like I was the youngest in the room or the dumbest in the room. I'm like, bring that on. Like if you're in the room and you're the dumbest or the newest, that's such an opportunity to me.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a negative. I think you should go try and I always try and find rooms I can get into where I
Yeah.
kind of don't feel good enough if that's not how I feel, but that would be the way people would see it because it's how you grow. It's like a
Yeah.
stretch zone. And when you're always comfortable, you're never learning and growing. It's like,
Yeah.
how can you stretch yourself? It's like your tour coming up. It's like that's going to be really stretchy for you. And
Yes, it
that's
is really
awesome.
stretchy. Yeah.
It's really stretchy. And you go, I'm stretching myself, like, yay, me. And
Yeah.
I love expansion. So I think, how
Yeah.
can you expand yourself
Yeah.
out and become a stretchier version of you?
It's interesting, Brie, because when my tour, I didn't plan it and it just happened, and the universe
Yeah,
brought something to me, and I said, yes, I'm willing to do this, give it a go. Yeah, so I've sort of lived my life a little bit like yours, not completely, but I've never planned to be a psychic medium, for instance. I was brought
no.
up Catholic, and I don't know how I got here. People say, and I never planned it. And people say to me, how do you do it? And it's like, I don't know how I do it. I've just done it. It's just like evolved. It's the same sort of thing.
Yeah, people say that to me all the time. How do you do this and how do you do that? And I'm like, I don't know. I just do.
You just do it, and they open
You
new
just do it.
doors.
It's like just do you, like whatever you do. And I think the thing that you do that you're unconsciously competent in is your thing.
Right,
Whatever your thing is that you can't really explain.
right.
Like you go, I don't know how I make people laugh, or I don't know how I make a room better, or I don't know how, whatever you do,
Yeah,
it's like when you meet an artist and you go, how did you do that? And I don't know.
I just did it. Yes, you can't explain it. You can't
You
put it
can't
in
explain
words.
it. And that's
Yeah,
that's to me like a soul talent. That to me is a gift.
yeah.
And yeah, don't worry about explaining it. Just keep doing it.
Yeah, just keep doing it.
Yeah.
That's what I sort of feel. It's almost like I sort of feel like so it's almost like a universal law is where I'm hearing. It's like a universal
Yep.
law
Yep.
is what I'm feeling. It's about to keep evolving. The other thing you said to me that spoke to me a little bit is about the vulnerabilities, because I've learned that vulnerability is my strength.
Yep.
If you go into your vulnerability, it actually gives you the strength to give you the core of who you are. But not only that, people love it if you're really honest and authentic and you say to them, I'm having trouble with that too, or I feel like that too. It's like that means they can start relating to you. Because
100%.
yes, because you come across as very real and
Well, it's very
authentically.
hard to
Yeah.
connect to anything if it's sealed. Like if it's sealed and shiny, it's hard to connect to it because there's nothing to grab onto. But when something's got little cracks in it, you can grab it. And that's how I see it.
I hear porous. It's a lot more
Yeah, yeah,
porous.
that porousness of just you've got to have little cracks in you.
Yeah.
To and cracking people open gets the light in, I think. Um,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I really wanted to um, read your books. And what I've found, what I've got, I've read get energy, keep energy, give it. I think that's what it's called. Is that right? Get,
Yeah,
get
get
it,
it, guard it, give it.
give
Yeah,
it,
the
get it, give
book's
it.
just called
Yes.
Energy, but it's
Yeah,
get it,
yeah,
guard
yeah,
it,
yeah,
give
yeah.
it. Yeah.
And then I've got the other one about getting what you want. And so what I really, it's just like this little gem for me because I used to have this book of positive gems, and I wake up early before I go to Pilates, and actually, I just want to read in the morning. You're this tonic for me, and so when I do a few minutes reading a little bit of your book, and I'm savoring it because I love it, and I'm going to have to get another one because you're my tonics. I need the Lisa tonic, and it's amazing. I just read it, and I just feel my energy, my vibration going up and up and up and up. And it was like one day, it was really, I had a lot going on in my life, and one of the things I was reading in a book I'm reading, Get What You Want, it was like, what can you be grateful for? And what are the little things? And Spirit always says to me, it's in the little things. And I read this tonic of your love. And then I was just there and I was relaxing and I heard the birds twittering.
Ah.
Or just sits outside my window and it was just, I mean, it was beautiful. And I thought,
Yeah, I call those pockets of perfect, like those little pockets of just perfect. And people go, "Oh, I'm really unhappy." And I'm like, "Yeah, but find a pocket." And a pocket of perfect is just listening to a bird for like 30 seconds and going,
yeah,
"Bird is perfect." You know, what's a little pocket of something? Or you walk past a baby in a pram and it smiles at you and you go, "Oh," like it's such a, it sounds cheesy, but it's there's blessings everywhere, but you've got to look for them. And when we're busy and we've
yeah,
got stress on our plate, it's really easy to be just focused on the problem and not be looking around to go, "Oh, look at that," or, you know?
yeah. That's like
Mm.
a reminder to me. So if you get somebody, for instance, I know people that are overwhelmed and they feel down on themselves, all that sort of thing, where's the best place would you say for them to start? They feel
I think,
completely overwhelmed, they feel down, they don't know, they're not lost to excitement, what's life about, all that sort of thing.
yeah, see, I always tell people, people say to me, "I'm exhausted and I've got no energy. What shall I do?" And I'm like, "You need to
Yeah.
do more. You need to do more." And they're like, "Did you not hear me? I just said I'm exhausted and I have no energy." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I love the saying that action keeps the darkness away." And I'm like, "You need to do more," which is counterintuitive because you feel like crap. So you're like, "Oh, I've just got to lie down and hide." But actually, doing something will always shift your energy. And we have to do more. You have to go, "Okay, I feel like crap. What can I do? I'm going to ring a friend, my most positive friend, and organize to go and visit them. Or I'm going to, grab someone's dog and take it for a walk. Or I'm going to go and pick some flowers. Or I'm going to go and buy myself a bunch of daffodils. Or I'm going to go and take myself and get my favorite takeaway. Or what's something I can do that would make me feel better?" Um,
Mm.
and I really love the idea of people knowing, like I have a planner that I make every year, a big diary planner, and I have a list in there called My Soul Loves. And it's like, what does your soul love? Decide what your soul loves and then find those things regularly. Like my soul loves
Mm.
birds. I love birds. I'm just always looking, especially a wax eye. Oh, I love a wee wax eye. So it's like if I can see a wax eye in my day, I'm like, yes, like, and it's really little things like that, I think that matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, how do you find, you've got to find those little things because no one's going to just randomly fill your life up with joy. Like, that's your job.
No,
It's
I
your
think,
job to make yourself happy. And people say, "Oh, you seem happy all the time." I'm like, yeah, because I work on, and I'm not happy all the time, but I work really bloody hard on my happiness and I work really hard on feeling good. Like, I do
yeah,
things all the time that make me, my body, my mind, and my energy feel good. Like, even what I wear makes me feel good. Because I go, "Oh, what
absolutely.
color do I want today?" Or, there's so much in it, and people are so unconscious to what they need. And I think you can't get what you need if you don't know what you want, which is why I wrote Everything You Want. It's like, what do you want? And we've all been told we can't have what we want, from a very early age. And I'm
Mm.
like, and it's really bad programming. And I'm like, no, no, you have wants for a reason. Like I was saying to this guy
Mm.
the other day, I said, "What if you could do anything in the world, what would you do?" And he said, "I'd be a famous country and western singer." And I'm like, "Awesome." And he goes, "No, it's not awesome because I can't sing." I said, "No, I know, but do you get that there's something in your soul that loves that? So why don't you go and just get
Mm.
guitar lessons? You don't have to become a famous country music singer, but you could buy yourself some cowboy boots, or you could start guitar lessons, or you could listen to country music every morning. Just take a little piece of that and input that into your day. Like, how do you take a
Mm.
little piece of that and make it into your day, and it might make you really happy."
Interesting. I just
Yeah,
love
so it's like,
that.
what do you want? And then come back to what can I do now? Like you might go, I want to go to Italy, but I have no money. And I'm like, cool, start looking at Italy, put Italy on your screensaver
Mm.
of your phone, go and get a brochure, listen to Italian music, just eat some Italian food, bring a little piece of Italy into your day. It doesn't have to be the big goal of I'm going to go to Italy because I haven't got the money. It's how do you bring that into your energy now? Because your energy
Yes.
wants that, you
Is
know?
it like a law of attraction?
Kind of, I think so, but I think it's like we have wants for a reason. You know,
Hmm.
like the thing you want to do, people go, what? Like I always say to people, do any of you want to speak on a stage with 10,000 people in the audience? And they're like, God, no, that's my worst nightmare. And I'm like, see,
Mm.
that's what I want. Now I must want that for a reason because not everyone wants
Yes.
what you, and we all assume people want what we want. And it's like, no,
Mm.
we have these soul desires in us. You know, when you have children, right? Like I've got four kids, they've all got completely different wants and desires, and it's hilarious watching that. And I go, really? Is that what you want? They're like, I want that. And I'm like, cool, do that, you
It's
know?
interest. It's interesting about the on the stage because a lot of people don't like public speaking, and I do public speaking as well.
Hmm.
And I think a little bit in New Zealand, this is can be a little bit tall poppy syndrome.
Yeah.
And what about
Because who do you
uh,
think you are is one of the biggest problems we have in New Zealand culture, right? Who do you think you are? That whole, oh, who does she think she is? And it's like, oh, do you know what? Go away. Like I've suffered from who do you think you are my whole life. And, growing
yeah,
up
I
in
know.
small town New Zealand and really just wanting, I just love attention. I've always loved attention.
I
I've
love
loved
that. I
attention.
love that about you.
I've
I
loved attention my
love
whole
it.
life. And my mother spent 30 years going, Lisa, sit down, be quiet, stop drawing attention to yourself. And I was like, ba 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 ba. And it's like,
I love it. Aren't you
it's just
gorgeous?
who I am. It's who I am. It's what I'm meant to be doing. And fear keeps people small because they go, oh no, what will people think if Lisa's dancing around, twirling around, drawing attention to herself? They'll think I'm a bad mother or they'll think she's a dreadful person. And I'm like, well, that's not true. You made all that shit up.
I've had people say to me about demonstration or in a stage or it's like that I'm just like being like well saying things I'm egotistical
Yeah.
mentioning like hinting at that and yet it's really disempowering to hear that and it's
Yeah, but
like
that says more about them than it does about you. Like that's their shit. I always think that. I think that's your version and that's not my truth. So
right because that's actually not true.
no,
You're
you're
doing it
here serving
because
spirit, giving messages. And
yeah.
yes, you need to do that on a stage to access people. You're comfortable on a stage, and that deserves a round of applause, not people pulling you down.
Yeah,
Because
because
if
the
people
thing
pull you down, then we wouldn't have you doing that, and then the world's worse off.
yes, it is because the thing is, circling back to that, when I saw you that day, you uplifted everybody. So it's so wonderful that you love being like talking to lots of people. You love being like having the attention. You love that. It's who you are, and it uplifts and gives so much people hope. You
Well,
know,
it's
and
like that
actually,
Marianne Williamson quote that when you let your light shine, you give other people permission to do the same.
yes,
And I love
exactly.
Marianne Williamson's work. And it's like when you get up on stage and go, hey, here I am, and I talk to dead people, other people go, shit, could I do that? Like that's, when you go, yeah, you
Absolutely.
could, give it a shot. And you're giving other people permission to step into their light. And
Yeah.
and Marianne Williamson says it's our light, not our darkness, that scares us. And we're scared of how successful we could be. We're scared of how amazing we could be. And we limit ourselves.
Yeah, it's that
Really
limiting beliefs,
boring.
isn't it? And not
So
only
boring.
that, maybe people aren't meant to be a public speaker, but maybe they're meant to buy one of your books, and to
Yeah.
no, honestly, because they're very healing. It's got so much in there, so much detail in there, and information in there, and practical information as well. And maybe someone just needs to be learned from what you're talking about, and actually saying, "I need some help," and being honest, and then they can read one of your books and they become a better mother, a better parent, better at work, better look after their heal their body, all sorts of things. It's like it's got
I'm
so
such a
many
book
layers to
junkie.
it.
Like, I mean, I've looked at all my books behind me. I've got such a book like that's about a third of my books. I have so many books and I love books. And I think books allow you to move into the head of someone else. And I go, oh,
Yes.
that's exciting. And whether I'm, moving into Deepak Chopra's head or, Liz Gilbert's head or whoever's head I'm moving into for an hour, I'm like, Ooh. And there's in some books I go, oh, this is crap, and I just don't carry on. But other books I'm like, this is like food for my brain. It's brain food. And I think I talk about this in the energy book around mental energy, that we're really conscious of what we physically put into our bodies, but we're not conscious of what we put into our brains and into our
Mm.
energy. And so what's your head diet? What are you doing for your head? How do you keep your head inspired? How do you keep your head learning? How do you keep your brain moving instead of it
Mm.
becoming compost? Um,
A compost. I love
you
that.
don't want a composted head. You meet people when they're just composted, they've gone, oh no, I can't learn anymore. I'm old. And I think, oh, you've turned into bloody compost head. Yeah.
I love that. Mind you, compost can help other things grow, can't they, in a way?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. And there's also that thing also about I was talking about the public thing, is like, and you can't sell a secret. You can't, you got to be out there. And also, like it's really good that people go on stage and perform and do things. I mean, I think my husband just bought these tickets, not my thing, but I'm going to support him. He loves heavy music.
Yeah.
To Tool. It's not my thing. I go to support him. I sit there with like earplugs in the whole time. But it was sold out in no time. You know what I mean? So, and you had these wonderful, like we're seeing Elton John over in Singapore. So exciting! I can't wait. So it's like, this is amazing. These beautiful talents and gifts and fruits
And
that
the
people have to
collective energy
share.
when you're at a
Yeah.
concert and there's, you know, 10,000 people that all love the same thing, I believe that energy
Mm.
all combines and you get the opportunity to be in this massive bubble of energy because everyone wants to be there, except you.
Mm.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but even though you still want to be there, even though you might not be into Tool, but you're supporting your husband, so you have a shared love because of him.
Mm.
But everyone's in a love bubble because they're all wanting to be part of
Yeah.
this. And that collective energy. I went to Harry Styles' concert, and my kids were like, "Mum, you're too old to like Harry Styles," and I was like, "Oh, shut up!" Like because I he's so joyful and his energy is extraordinary. And the energy, everyone was happy, everyone was wearing sequins and feathers, and everyone was just so fully self-expressed and joyful. It was just the most extraordinary energy. And even if I
Yeah.
had headphones on and I hadn't heard any of the music, absorbing the energy of that concert was mind-blowing. It was
It
beautiful.
would be.
It expanded my energy immensely. Yeah.
I saw like Taylor Swift and that was cool, like all the
Same, I've
sparkles.
seen her too. She's extraordinary, isn't she?
Yeah, she's amazing. I had an excuse. I love sparkles and color, and I
Yeah.
had an excuse to wear lovely
Yeah.
sparkles.
And the music's great, but I think people don't understand that actually what they're getting is the energy. They're getting the
Right.
energy that performer puts out and the energy, the collective energy of everyone in the room being like, so happy. And you imagine everyone's auras are so much bigger. So the collective bubble of that auditorium is crazy.
It's really fascinating what you're saying because you do feel it, the energy.
Mm.
But I've taken photos at concerts
Yeah.
and or anything with bands or things like that, and you always see spirit orbs.
Yes. 100% because the collective energy is so expanded, right? Because you have a collection of humans who are all lit up about the same thing. So their auras expanded, and then collectively there's 10,000 expanded auras in a space. Like,
It's amazing. And then all the spirit likes it. So for me, from my
exactly.
spiritual side, I have to be really, my vibration has to be quite high to
Yes.
connect with them. And I
Yes.
think they love it.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
They love those lovely gatherings.
Yeah.
So you go around now and you do a lot of motivational speaking, and is that what you mainly do, or you help businesses, and
I
what
do a
do
lot
you
of
do now?
conference work. So I speak at a lot of conferences. I go into a lot of organizations and do workshops and sessions for teams. And I do leadership mentoring and coaching, and I spend a lot of time pretty much on stage is my favorite thing. I also run retreats. So I like really small, intimate, like one-on-one working
Yeah,
with someone individually, and then retreats where there's say 20 women and we're sitting in a circle unpacking stuff. I love that.
lovely. Yeah.
And then I also love like 5,000 people on a
Oh,
stage.
wow. Awesome. So you're inspiring others, and what you're doing and planting those seeds, and it's seeds for them. They got the choice of when to grow it and water it and make it
Absolutely.
grow. And it's that ripple effect, I feel. It's that lovely ripple effect. But
Yeah.
what I did notice at this, going back to the conference that I was at, is it was every woman was focused on you. So it was like they're all different personalities. They come from different places. We had this common thing working for electrical companies, but we also, you obviously spoke to everyone through your being authentic. I think that's the important thing.
Yeah,
So
and I
being
think we're all
authentic.
not that different. Like we might look different. Like someone might be young, or someone might be old, or someone might be fat, or someone might be thin, or we all look different, but actually our core is very similar. We all want to know, am I okay? How could I be better? Why am I not okay? Why do I not feel like I fit into the world? Is my decision right? Like we've all got the same core humanity, I think. And we've all got
Mm,
this, oh shit, my life's not working, or I'm not good enough. You know, everyone suffers from I'm not good enough and what will people think. And as a core disease like NGE, which I call not good enough, is in all of us from a very early age. And most of us are sitting there going, oh God, I hope no one works out that I shouldn't be here. I hope no one works out that I'm not actually really that good at my job. And it's like, no, you're really good at your job, but you're doubting. People live in doubt. And I think when I speak to them, they go, oh, maybe I am okay. And the whole room
right.
goes, oh, maybe I'm okay. Maybe it's okay to be me. Maybe it's, and because I just say what people are thinking, they go, oh shit, that's what I think. Oh, and she just said it, so it must be okay. So I make them okay with being them, which is, I think, why they connect.
I've got you. I see it because we're all, yeah. So it's interesting. That's not good enough disease. I like that.
Yeah, and that whole, you know how as
Mm.
humans we're all walking around pretending we're so separate? Like, oh, I'm different than you because, you know, you live in Auckland and I live in Levin, or I'm different from you because you're Asian and I'm Māori. Or it's like, no, we're all actually made of the same stuff. Like
Mm.
we're all just souls in costumes bumping around. Like I see
Mm.
everyone as a soul at a dress-up party. And I'm like, so we're all just the same, but we've just got different costumes. And
You know what? I
everyone,
got so emotional when you said that.
oh, I love that. I
My
do. That's how I
heart.
see the world. I see us all as souls in fancy dress costumes. And sometimes you meet someone else and you go, I feel like I know you, but you met in a different costume, in a different life, or when you were a man and I was a man, or, you know, we were brothers. Or I love that. I'm really into past lives and stuff. So I think there's so much in our soul memory that we don't take seriously in our humanity. But I just think if everyone's the same, and that if we can just be more the same, everyone gets better because separation is killing us. Separation is
Actually, you know,
creating
I
wars.
hear this is really interesting. Something recently that everybody says to me. I've been talking to a nutritionist actually, but I get this thing drummed into me from a lot of people. Oh, we're all different. Everybody's unique, everybody's different. And I always feel pushed back when people say that, and I didn't know why, because I didn't feel
We are all different and we're all the same. Like I love that saying,
right.
same, same, but different. And I'm like,
Yeah.
but we're so desperate to be different. We're out there going, no, I'm not like you. I'm better. You know, and it's like it's such an ego game. And
Yeah.
it's like fundamentally, I walk around the supermarket and I really love. So have you read Neil Donald Walsh's work, Conversations with God?
Yes, I have. I've got it. Yeah.
I love her, and I got to work with Neil. I love him. I did some work with him years ago, and he's definitely one of the most inspiring teachers I've had in my life. And I love him, and I love the fact that he talks about how we're basically all the same. I heard him speak, and there were 500 people in the room, and he said, before I start, I want you all to know something." And he said, "Lean in, because I'm going to tell you." And we were all like on the edge of our seats, leaning in, and he said, "You're the only person in the room." And I was like, I looked at my friend, and she looked at me, and I was like, "What's he talking about?" But it's like actually everyone is you and you are everyone. And if I walk around the supermarket and I think everyone here's me. So that man over there that can't pay for his groceries, that's me. Like, and
Oh,
then I think, and that woman over there struggling with three toddlers in a trolley, I'm like, that's me. And the woman that just dropped a carton of eggs and is embarrassed and is trying to scoop them all up and doesn't want anyone to look at her, I'm like, that's me. They're all fragments of me. And that really helps me to be kind and generous in the world, because if we walk around going, oh, silly bitch, drop the eggs and walk off,
yeah.
we're not very compassionate.
Yeah.
But if we see everyone as a version of us, it's a lovely way to live. And that changed the way I live and it changed the way I see the world.
Yeah. That's why I think a lot of women can relate to Bridget Jones.
Oh yeah, yeah, because
Yeah,
we're all
yeah, yeah.
Bridget
Because
Jones. We're all Bridget Jones,
yeah,
you know.
exactly. Especially being a mum and yeah, crazy life
Yeah.
and love and all the rest of it.
And it's such a vulnerable movie because it's so real. Like, even I mean, the knickers she wears, the tantrum she has, everything in all of those movies is so relatable
Yeah.
to every woman that or not every woman, but a lot of women that you go, oh God, I feel seen.
Yes,
Like
you can
she's a
sing.
shambles, and I love that she's a shambles. And
Yes.
my shambles doesn't feel so bad now because I've seen her shambles.
Exactly, exactly. And do you think it's the same as comedians? Because I just think comedians, I'm seeing Tom Sainsbury, so I can't wait.
Oh,
He's
he's
always
great.
fun. He's a great, but I love comedians because they really look at life, don't they? And they just see
Very
that.
clever. Really good comedians are so clever, and they're actually observers. They observe
Yes,
things and then they unpack them and then they
yes,
represent them to yourself, and you go, "Oh wow, that's hilarious." You
yes.
know?
Because it's a reflection in a way, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
reflection. So when one of the things I want to talk about, the one thing I really liked was you break things down and. You mentioned in your book about the energy book,
Hmm.
and you broke it down things. So I'm going to start off with the first thing you talked about is that you hit rock bottom with your health,
Hmm.
and you got looking after your body and what you suggest. So can we just circle back to your physical body because that was where you started. That was the basics.
Yeah, so I had an adrenal collapse when I was 26. And
Yes.
so the physical energy is obviously really important. And I think to get physical energy, we have to look after ourselves. Like I think of our body as a rental car that we're given at birth and we drop off at death. And it's just a vehicle to drive your soul around in. That's how I
Yeah.
look at our
Yeah.
bodies. And I go, so we have to look after that vehicle because you don't get to upgrade. Like you can have surgery and you can have bits mended and things, but you've got to live in that body. Like, what are you doing to keep that body strong? And how are you honoring your body? Like,
Mm,
how do you honor your body? And what does your body need? And I think we don't connect with our bodies to go, hey, body, what do you need right now? What do you need? Do
mm,
you need moisturizing? Do you need fluid? Do you need food? Do you need vegetables? Do you need nutrition? Do you need supplements? And I'm really big on like supplements and really looking after my body. And I'm really big on doing the mahi to look after my body. So I have a naturopath I work with all the time. I constantly get blood work done to check how's my blood's going, where are my hormones at, have I got enough zinc, where's my iron, like, because I think we don't have enough data on our bodies.
I
And the New
agree.
Zealand health system is designed to, if you're really sick, we'll give you a blood test. And I'm like, I want a blood test when I'm not sick so I can work out what my body needs. And I think
Prevention.
I'm
Yeah.
really into proactive health. Like, I just think I love naturopathy because I love the theory that I think Socrates said, let food be your medicine and medicine be your food. And I think food heals us and is so good for us. Um, but we don't honor it and we eat shit food, processed crap food. And I'm not a saint. Like, I eat cakes and all kinds of stuff. I give myself what I want, but I love the emotional connection to food. Like if I crave, sometimes I'll be like, I'm just craving like a cheese sandwich. A
Mm,
cheese sandwich. And I'm like, why am I craving that? And I'm like, because that's comfort for me. My mum used to make me
mm,
cheese sandwiches when I was a little girl. So that means I
mm,
actually want comfort. Or I want something really, like when I'm stressed, I want to eat crunchy stuff. I want to crunch on chips. And that's a emotional response to like wanting to bite down on
mm,
something
mm.
because I'm stressed. So when I'm stressed, I need to keep chips away from myself because I can inhale a whole bag. And it's like our bodies tell us all the time what they want, but we don't listen.
Mm,
So we go, your body goes, if you say, oh, what do you want? Like if I said to you, do you want a coffee? And you might go, oh, I have a latte. And I'm like, you didn't even think about that. You didn't check in with your body to go, actually, no, I want tea, or
yeah.
no, I want a long black because I don't feel like milk today, or no, I want
Mm,
something really creamy, or
mm,
what does my body want? And when you follow your body's wants, I think it gives you the information.
the Whole foods are so important. I love Whole Foods. I'm really
Yeah,
into
well,
that.
I've got so my
Mm.
four children are all celiac, and so we've always read food labels because we can't eat gluten. And I used to play a game with my kids when they were little that if they could find anything in the supermarket that had less than three ingredients in a packet, we would buy it.
Yeah.
And so, like for example, potato chips are just salt, potato, and oil. And
Right.
I'm like, so that's okay. Sour cream and chive potato chips are about 27 ingredients. So
Right.
that's okay. So I was like, you can have chippies, but you're not having all those numbers and flavors and all that crap.
Right.
And so I think less than three ingredients in a packet, good rule. And
Right.
just eat whole foods. My first ever naturopath said to me, there's no hamburger tree, Lisa. So you can't have a hamburger. You can only eat what grows. And I was like, okay. So I could eat a fish because it grows. I can eat a carrot because it grows, right? I can eat a potato chip because it's potato and it grows. But what are you eating that doesn't grow?
I think this is no biscuit trees or something I read in
Yeah,
your
it's true. It's
yeah.
like there's no biscuit tree, and you don't have to limit things that grow. You can't eat too much cauliflower.
Yeah.
Okay, knock yourself out, so that stops having to limit yourself in any way.
Yeah.
Um,
I agree
yeah,
with you about the supplements. Some people are not into supplements, but I know that I was just speaking to my son this morning about a particular supplement his wife told me. Honest God, I can really feel the energy in my body so much grounded and
yeah,
better. Something I really needed, my body needed. And she does a lot of research and oh my God, it made a bit I know some people aren't into it, but I really do believe in supplements. You
yeah.
can't get
People
them
say,
from
"Oh,
your
they're just a
food.
money-making scam," and I'm like, it's impossible in New Zealand. There's not enough zinc in our soil for us
Yes.
to get the amount of zinc our bodies actually need to function from. Even if you eat organic fruit and veggies for the rest of your life, you're not going to get enough zinc in your body. That's
Yeah.
the fact. So it's like, supplementing your body, it makes a huge difference to the way your skin heals and the way you feel. And how what you put into your body really matters. People say, "Oh, I feel like shit." I'm like, shit in, shit out. Like, of course you feel like shit. Look
Yeah.
what
And
you eat.
magnesium as well. We don't get enough magnesium, do we?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the other one.
Magnesium is huge. And
Yeah.
people don't know.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, why can't I sleep? Why are my joints achy? Why?" I'm like, "Have you tried magnesium?" I've got a friend I
Mm.
put onto magnesium. He's like, "This shit's changed my life." Like, how did you know about it? Because no one's ever told me. And he
Yeah.
was in constant pain, couldn't sleep. He's like, "Now I sleep through the night and my body doesn't ache anymore." I'm like, "Because you were lacking magnesium."
Have you
And
tried
I'm a health professional, but I'm like, I've got a fairly good guide now from years of being interested in this stuff of when people are low, you
yeah,
know.
what about have you tried MSM?
I have, yes,
Amazing.
yes,
Life
amazing.
changing.
So many minerals and so many of these supplements are
Yeah.
so good for us. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's such an interesting field. Yeah.
I love
I,
it, MSM. So yeah, that's so and you also said that eat whole food. You never it stabilizes your weight. You've always been eating lots of food. It just goes right through you. I love that when you said that because I tend to be similar, like the whole food thing.
Yeah, and I think, if we eat well and we have to look after ourselves. It's our job. And people walk around eating horrible things and feeling crappy, and they're like, "Oh, I don't know why I feel like this." I'm like, mate, take some responsibility for what you put in your gob, And I
Yeah.
think it's that sort of 80-20 rule. Like, it's fine to I think 80% of your life if you can kind of eat well and look after yourself. And then you can go out and you can drink gin all night and you can have a cake and do what you like. But, you don't want to be super boring and you still want to have some treats, but you want to get the basics right, I think.
And getting your sleep as well, like your sleep and your rest and
Sleep is so
you
big.
sleep is
Sleep is
huge, isn't
really
it?
big. And people say, "Oh, I can't sleep." And part of the problem is they tell themselves 25 times a day, "Oh, I can't sleep. Oh, I can't sleep." I mean, you're just programming your brain to say, "I can't sleep." That's all you're affirming that constantly with your words.
Hmm.
Constant affirming. "Oh, I can't sleep. I'm a terrible sleeper. I've never been a good sleeper. I'm an awful sleeper." I'm like, "Oh, shut up." Like your body's listening. Your body's listening. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, every cell in your body is listening to your words. Just shut up. How about
Right.
you walk around saying, I can sleep, I'm an amazing sleeper." And I'm like, if you can't sleep, and there's lots of people that are challenged with sleep, do whatever you need to do to get sleep. You know,
Right.
buy a new bed, get some new sheets, like take a bath, drown yourself in lavender, drink a special tea before you go to sleep. Do whatever you need to do to get some sleep because sleeping is so important. And I don't mean sleeping pills because they're just a sedative. You're not actually sleeping when you
Mm.
take chemicals like that. You're just sedated. So your
Mm.
body, when you sleep, you get upgrades. It's like your iPhone. You get an upgrade over
Mm. Mm.
and your body processes everything and your mind, and it's like you get this beautiful regenerative. We have this joke in our house. some of my family are what I call hedgehogs. They stay up all night. They love the night and they're hedgehogs. And some of us are really early to bed, kind of early to rise people. And we have a joke about, the beautiful people are going to bed now and the ugly people have to stand guard because it's like the more you sleep, the more beautiful you'll be. So I'm like, oh, well, the beautiful people are now going to bed. So you ugly people stay up and stay guard. And it's just a funny joke, but you look better when you sleep. I sleep 8 hours every single night without
Wow.
fail. I need a lot of sleep,
Yeah.
and I'm really big on prioritizing sleep.
Yeah. So it actually comes down to personal responsibility, to be honest.
Everything does.
Yeah.
Everything does. Like you've been given a body and you've been put on this earth. And I believe we're very lucky. Like we've won a raffle, like you're the sperm that got through. Like not everyone's here.
Mm,
And I
mm,
think we're so lucky to be alive, but we
mm.
need to take responsibility for doing life well. That's our
Yeah.
job.
It is our job. And also the exercise as well. That's important as well, is that?
Yeah, and I think exercise is interesting because I've never been a very interested in like sport or exercise. I don't really care, but I love to dance and I love to roll around on the floor and it's like so that's exercise. You don't have to go to the gym. If you don't want to go to the gym, don't go to the gym.
Mm,
If you love being on a machine and rowing or Pilates, or do that. Like do what you love, but don't
mm,
don't force yourself to do stuff. Don't run if you hate it. Like do
mm.
what is right because our bodies, under like Ayurvedic principles and things, our bodies are all different and some require hard, fast exercise, some require slow, soft exercise. And whatever is good for you is good for you. And
Yeah.
don't do just what your friend does or your sister does. Do you, I
And
think that.
whatever you love and what you're drawn to, that's
And what
really
your body
important.
feels good in. Like when does your body feel amazing? My body feels amazing when I dance.
Mm,
Um, and that's just boogieing around in my lounge. Like
yeah.
it feels amazing dancing. I love it. It frees my body and I feel like I'm part of something way bigger than me when I'm moving and flailing around in a very unstructured, not a dance class, but just a free range kind of boogie.
Yeah, yeah. It feels quite. I love dance. I love dancing as a child. I love dancing. I tried
Yeah.
line dancing, and it was
I've
okay.
just started line dancing and I
Oh,
love
did you? Did you? Yeah, yeah. Try because it's very fast, isn't it?
and really fun. And it's really good for your
Yeah,
brain because your brain's going left, right, and
I
your body's
know.
going, what are you doing? And I think that I've got a personal trainer and she was saying that, as we get older, our our brain and our body moving at the same time is one of the secrets. And learning an instruction like go left, go right, it makes your
Yeah.
brain go move your arm. And she said, I see lots of people in their 70s and I come in and say, could you raise your left hand? And they put the right arm up. And she's like, because their
Mm.
brain has lost connection with their body. I think line dancing is the secret to a long life. I love it.
I enjoy doing. I couldn't keep it up, but I do Pilates, but not because I just but I had to find something closer. But yeah, I loved it. Whenever I
I
did
go
it
to a
with
beginner's
friends.
class where it doesn't matter if you're useless and I don't go all the time because I travel a lot. I can't go to anything kind of weekly or
Yeah.
regularly. So I just go to a beginner's class where everyone's just mucking up and having a good time and it's funny. Instead of going to a class where everyone's really good because some of those line dancers are so amazing. Like they're amazing.
Oh
And you can
God,
do
I
line dancing on
know.
YouTube, right? Like you can follow someone on your TV at home. It's really
That's what I did. I started doing it on YouTube and then I went to a
yeah.
class, but it just was a location. I couldn't keep doing it. But I did have a lot of
We're
fun
so
when I did
lucky
it.
now that location doesn't limit us. Like since the pandemic, we can go online and do anything.
Yes, we can.
We're
And
so
yin
lucky.
yoga's, I love yin yoga too. I tell people about yin
Yes.
yoga all the time. Just go online. Okay, so we'll move on to the after your mental health, because you did talk about that a little bit. You've touched on it. So if you can just go a little bit more into your mental health, because that's
Yeah,
so
I think I
important.
have regular meetings with my head all the time, and some people have very strong heads, and some people have very soft heads. And if you've got a soft head, you've got to be so gentle with the messages you take in, or like I don't ever watch movies that are awful. I won't do that to myself. I'm not going to watch violence. I'm not programmed for that shit. Like my brain just doesn't like it. So I don't know why you
Mm,
would do that to yourself. I don't know
mm.
why you would watch. I don't want to pay to be scared or sad. I don't get
Yeah.
it. Like, I don't get it. And so I'm like, be gentle with your head. And like I said before, your
Mm,
head diet is really important. And ask, what does your brain need? I think most of us need silence, but silence is really scary because when you're silent, your
mm.
brain starts chitty chattering. And so, but I think you've got to try and sit with that. And even if you do 5 minutes of silence and then 10 minutes of silence, just build it up. And I love guided meditations because they help your brain stay on track with something
Mm,
positive instead of
mm.
people often say, "Oh, I can't meditate because they sit down and then they go, oh, I haven't fed the cat, or oh, I've got to do, the jobs they have to do." And it's like a guided meditation. And again, there's so many of them on Spotify. Amazing. And you can just find a guided meditation and disappear into another space with someone leading your mind off on a magic carpet or a fluffy cloud, or just give your brain some space. And we don't ever have space anymore. We're on our phones all the time. I've now got a rule that I don't go on my phone in taxis or Ubers. So I'm looking around and I'm noticing things instead of being head down and, because I love my phone. I'm a bit of a phone addict, but I have to give myself rules where I go in a taxi, there's no phone. I'm just going to look around, and it's a really good thing to know where I am and my surroundings and connect energetically to who's driving me and what's happening around the car. And so I'm like giving myself space where I'm not looking at anything. I'm just sitting in the space. And I don't think we do that enough anymore. We're
We
so
don't.
busy on devices and we've always got podcasts in our ears or we've got music playing or, there's always something going on. Our brains are fried.
Yeah, that's very good. I'm going to take that on actually
Even
for
when we go for a
me to
walk,
do.
you think, oh, I'm going for a walk, and you go, I'll go for a walk and I'll listen to a podcast. And I'm like, look, podcasts are amazing, but why don't you go for a walk and listen to the trees? Like,
Mm,
try doing something with no inputs
mm.
and just be alone with your mind and yourself.
It's good for you. I've just
Yeah.
started my own guided meditations
Oh, nice.
myself. Yes, I do them in my workshops, but and in that I do have a process to help people with their monkey mind.
Yes.
I've got a little exercise that I do, and then but the thing about it is, it's with Jeffrey Clarkson's his music,
Yeah.
and it leads people in, and then I leave them alone.
Yes.
And then I bring them back. So I've got different topics that I'm covering, like the chakras, and I've got going to higher self. I'm going to do one like going to your soul, and then connecting energy to your spirit guides and things like that.
Love
So
that.
so I'm working on that at the moment. Yeah, but
It's really important because that
yeah,
helps people that go, oh, I can't connect to my spirit guides. I'm like, well, try this, right? Let Kerry-Marie
yeah.
guide you through that. You don't, because people go, I'm just going to sit here. Oh, nothing happened. Oh, I don't have any spirit guides. I'm like, no. You know what I mean? Like they gave it 4 minutes and went, no, I don't have anyone. I've got to go. And it's like, well, that's not really how it works.
Oh, you're hilarious. It's exactly what people are. I've seen them do it at my
Yeah.
workshops. They go like that. No, I haven't got anything.
Yeah.
Just cut it off.
No,
It
they
hasn't
close
happened.
off. I do that at my retreats and I talk a lot about that. And people go, oh, it didn't work for me. No, no. And I'm like, wow, you're so, stop. You're cutting yourself off from this process.
It's a process. And also you got to be patient sometimes, don't you?
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
to
Like
be
you
just be
can't
patient.
just walk around not believing in anything and then suddenly go, right, I want some angels. Get in here. It's like, hang on a minute. Like they didn't know you were going to call them. They're busy. Like,
Yeah, it's hilarious.
yeah.
You got to be in the right. I love that. So also
Yeah.
we've got what about looking after your emotional health and well-being?
Oh,
That's
I
so
think that's
important.
really important. I think, I love the theory that our feelings, I talk a lot about the feeling factory and how we have feelings come into our factory and we have to process them. And feelings have a clue in the word, you have to feel them, like facts. You have to feel your feelings. And we get feelings and go, oh, that's really scary. And we shove them off to the side and ditch them. And people, they wake up at 50 and they've got boxes of feelings stacked up in their mental garage and they wonder, and all this shit stored in their body. And they wonder why life's not working. And I'm like, because you've got so much stuff to unpack. Like you're like a feeling hoarder. You've never actually opened any of those boxes. And feelings are hard because we're not trained to be good with feelings. Like, I'm guilty of this. When I had my kids were little, someone starts crying and you're like, oh, don't cry, don't cry. And I'm like, why do we do that? We shut down people's feelings instead of going, yeah,
Mm,
you be angry, mate. Punch the wall, knock yourself out. Like, you be sad, lie, roll around on the floor and bloody have a tantrum. Like, we need to let people feel their feelings because we're not taught to feel our feelings. And then you have
mm,
these feelings and you go, I must be a really bad person because I'm angry. I'm like, no, you're not a really bad
mm,
person. You're just
mm,
really angry. And there's a reason why you're angry because that's triggered one of your boundaries or it's gone against something you value or someone's, upset you and you've got to, there's a reason, but it's like unpack why you're angry, unpack what's really going on. Why do you feel like
mm.
that? you know,
Mm,
and I love journaling for emotions because I think writing emotions, like if I write down what's how I'm feeling and then I go, why am I sad? Why am I sad? I'm really sad. I'm sad like because my friend died, and I'm sad because I don't physically get to hug him anymore, and I'm sad that I can't ring him and have a coffee. And then I'm very glass half full. So then I go, but I can still have a coffee. I can just have a coffee with him energetically. You know, I can sit and have a coffee
mm.
and talk to him. Um, but I think the process of unpacking the emotion, I like sort of drawing like mind maps of going, why am I angry? Who am I angry at? When have I been angry before like that? When have I felt like this before? Like, why do I feel like this now? What's this really about? And it may not be about the fact, like, it might be like, this is a random example, but say today you were late for the podcast, and I'm like, oh, I'm really angry at Kerry-Marie because she wasted my time. And then I'm like, well, hang on, what? When have I had my time wasted before? Oh, that's because I'm angry because my mum forgot to pick me up from school when I was 8. Like, it always goes back. You know,
Right. Yeah.
they're like triggered bloody dominoes.
Yeah, they
And I
are.
think if we can then go, oh, yeah, that makes me really angry. Why does it make me angry? I don't like people mucking me around. Who's mucked me around in the past? Like, it's such a rabbit warren of things. But I think journaling helps me kind of unpack how I'm
Yeah.
feeling
How you
in a
feeling?
linear way. Like, I can draw arrows to things and then go, no, it's not that. Like, I do a lot of that. I do a lot of writing
Right.
and drawing.
Yeah, we ask you
So,
about
yeah.
embracing your feelings and processing it. I'm a
Yeah.
celebrant as well. I'm a celebrant, and I did one about grief and about anger. And I first time I ever learned that anger is not a bad thing, and it's really
No,
good to
anger's
express
great.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like anger. I work with a lot of men I mentor, and they're really ashamed of being angry, and they've been made wrong for being angry. And I'm like, you're allowed to be angry.
Yes.
And anger, I always think anger's the icing. And I'm like, yeah, but what's the cake? So you're angry, but what you're not actually angry, you're really sad, or you're really disappointed, or you're
Yeah.
outraged, or there's something under the anger all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
And
yeah.
it's expressing it in a healthy way.
Absolutely. And you're allowed to be angry. Like, go outside and yell and
Yeah.
scream. I yell in my car all the time. I have imaginary conversations with people and I tell them what I think and I yell and scream. Um, I do it all the time. Because if I'm angry at you, it doesn't matter whether I tell you or not. It's I need to get, my mother used to call it, get the shit off your liver. I need to get it off my energy.
Yeah.
And I think our throat chakras get blocked, especially women, because we don't speak our truth. We don't go, I'm really angry at the way you treated me today, and I didn't appreciate it, and I don't deserve to be treated like that, and you're a dick. And then you go, oh, here you go. That's opened up.
What about
When my kids were little, they'd come to me and say, Mum, I've got a sore throat. And I'd say, you're angry at someone. I need you to write a letter. And they were like, oh my God, Mum, can I just have a throat lozenge like every other child? And I was like, no, no, you've got anger stuck in your throat. And that's why you have a sore throat. And I need you to write it out because I'm a big kind of Louise Hay person. I really love
I
that
love her.
stuff. I love her so much. And I love that everything shows up in our bodies that we haven't
Yeah.
processed.
I love her. When I was when my daughter was little, she said when I was driving my car, she'd see me, I'd be doing and I'd be going, like, I'd be doing these actions like I'd be doing these actions, and she said, "You're talking to someone in your head," and I was. It
Mm.
was like having these self conversations. It's like,
Yeah. And I do that too, but I think verbally
yeah,
expressing ourselves is so important. And I'm really renty, like I'm really good at having a rant. So
right.
I'll be like, "Rah, rah, 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 rah," and then I'm over it. I'm done. And
You're
sometimes
saying
I can just rant to myself. I don't need, I've learned over time, I don't need to give you a piece of my mind. I can just rant to myself and clear that energy.
that's a very healthy way to do it, isn't it? Because you can it can be out of context. So you can find someone you can just like rant at them about something else that's upset you to get it off your chest.
Yes.
But then is that a good thing to do or not? I don't know. But maybe it's quite healthy just to, have that conversation yourself. Yeah. Depends,
Yeah,
I
well, and
suppose.
it's really never about them. It's really about how they made me feel, and I need to process that. So, people go, "Oh, I need to go and tell my mother how I feel about her." I'm like, no, you don't. Just say it out loud.
Yeah,
And
but
she
what
just,
about talking to a trusted friend though?
oh no, that's a good idea. I think having a rant at someone, like going, I've got friends, and I'm like, come on, give me all your shit. Just have a go. Blah, 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 and I'm like, whoa. And I just sit and listen. And then
Yeah,
they do the same for me. And it's so
exactly.
beautiful to be listened to.
Yeah, I've got some good friends like that as well. So I said to someone recently, "Can you come for what?" I said, "Just listen. I've just got to get
Yeah.
this off my chest," and she
Yeah.
was so
Yeah.
good.
So good. And having someone you can rant at, and
Yeah,
people scared of renting, and often they've been triggered because they've had a ranty parent, and so they go, "Oh
Mm,
God, like this is awful, and it's going to end badly." And I'm like, "No, I'm just letting off some steam."
yeah. I've got
You
some
know,
great friends like that, and we interchange and we help each other. It's wonderful.
friends are great, aren't they?
Okay.
Friends are so important. Yeah.
Aren't they important?
So important. And if I love the idea of collecting humans, and it's like collect good humans because other humans will get you through.
They really do. I got so many good humans in my life. So yeah, yeah. Um, okay, so lastly, I'm going to get to spiritual side. So lastly, looking after your spiritual well-being. Yeah, but still being a spiritual person, I'm quite interested in that aspect as well.
Yeah, well, I think just being I'm always really aware of my energy. Like, how do I open myself up for the day? How do I close myself off at night? I love having an opening ceremony and a closing ceremony. So I have an opening ceremony for the day where I'm like, okay, universe, what have you got for me today? What would you like me to do? Where do you want me to go? And yeah, and I just use that a lot. I visualize a lot in the morning about what I want, what I'm calling in. And at night, I thank the universe for having me. And I'll do a little gratitude list in my head of who were the highlights of my day, who was my person of the day, what did I love? What was the nicest thing I ate? What was the nicest place I went? Who was the nicest person I came across? What was my magical, like a snapshot moment where I just looked at something and went, oh, that's beautiful. Um, yeah, so I like the idea of just sort of honoring our energy, really.
Yeah.
And I always believe I've got a couple of really strong sort of spiritual beliefs that I believe that everything happens for me, not to me. And I think that's really important. So everything that happens, I go, oh, okay. Like if I'm held up in traffic and there's an accident, I think, okay, I'm obviously not meant to be at this place at that time. So the
Yeah.
universe is holding me back for 10 minutes. And so I don't get my knickers in a twist about that. I go, I'm not meant to be there on time. Something's gonna, it's saving me from something, or I don't know, like,
Always.
yeah. And I like the idea that I'll always be okay because I always have been okay, and we're always okay, even when we're not okay, we're okay. Like, I love that that's my definition of confidence. That it's not always knowing what to do; it's knowing that when you don't know what to do, you'll be okay.
Yeah, I love that. So what, as you know, is a spiritual truth
Yes.
podcast. So what's your spiritual truth or truths?
Well, I think that I'm an endless source of energy and love is a really useful spiritual
Oh,
truth. Because I can't really get depleted if I'm looking after my energy and living in love. So if I'm
yeah.
loving myself, if I'm loving the world, if I'm loving people if I'm loving, and then the world is better. So in love and energy is an endless source. And I don't believe I can't give you too much energy because everything I give out, I get back. And I love the
Oh,
idea that your energy is designed to give away. And my energy is designed to give to you and your podcast so you can give it to more people so that we can make the world better. That's the whole
oh,
point.
beautiful.
I think being an endless source, I think people see themselves as finite, which is really boring.
It is really boring. Do you mind if I read a card to you? I
Oh,
picked
I'd
one.
love a card. I love
I've
cards.
got these messages from spirit cards, and
Oh, nice.
I picked it for you earlier, and I just felt an older woman around who felt quite wise actually, but she was a little bit bossy.
Oh, I like bossy.
And she talks about being human. And also just heard that you've been reflecting a lot, which is interesting. That's what I've heard from spirit. At the moment, you're reflecting a lot. Don't know if that sits with you, but that's what I just heard.
Yeah,
And I've got number 29, and you just said you're special, 29, which is very much, I love numerology. So that's very much a master number.
right.
And that's about the intuition. And for you, it's all about family as well. So she's very much a family, very loyal to you, this lady. She's coming through and she said, you watch your children grow from very small to large and tall. As you go through stages, time passes, your body ages. You become aware there's more to life, who you love and hold so dear. Enjoy every moment, live in the present, enjoy what you have, life will be pleasant. And this person is really supportive of you. She gives you confidence, and she knows that you're also exploring new options as well.
Nice.
Yeah. And I do feel this very much, and she also liked chocolate. So, A sport, this must be a grandmother, I feel.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Nice. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I love cards. I use cards every day.
yeah,
I find cards are such a great way to access like thoughts and ideas and I think
yeah,
they're I always suggest people get cards and they go, "Oh, what kind of card?" I'm like, any cards that
yeah.
you're drawn to,
So I
you
hope
know?
that meant something to you anyway.
Yeah, it did. Thank you.
You're welcome. So Lisa, are there any more books in the pipeline?
Oh, well, yes, yes. I'm writing I'm writing a book at the moment about unconditional love for ourselves and for others. And I'm really big on self-friendliness and how do you love yourself. And I think people need to learn that. And how do you love difficult people? Because I think
Right.
people are very quick to get rid of people and they lose the lesson. So when you get rid of someone out of your life, like, yes, you can do that. You can go, okay, my sister's awful, I'm going to get rid of her. But actually, you've lost a lesson because I think you've been given that person in your little world for a reason. And I
That's
think
interesting.
we lose the lesson because we go, oh, I can't deal with this. And I'm like, what if you could? So, how do you love difficult people? I think is
That's so
really
important.
interesting.
I
Yeah.
love that. I want to get that book, definitely. That's something a lot of people learn from that
Well, I
one.
think there's so many people that come into your life. Like your children can be difficult, your partner can be difficult, your parents can be difficult. Like there's so much difficult, and it's like, how do we do difficult? And we don't know how to do difficult, and we don't know how to love ourselves when we may not like ourselves. We
Yeah.
might do things we don't like, and you might have habits that you don't like, and you go, "Ooh, I'm awful," and you're like, "No, you're not awful. You're just a lovely person that's got a weird habit. Like that's
Yeah,
okay."
yeah, that's a good way to look at it. So, any more workshops or retreats in the pipeline?
Yeah, so I run my repotted retreat twice a year, and the next one's in December, and that's up in the beautiful Coromandel. And so that repotted is really fun. It's where I take women on a bit of a journey to go, right, what's your current pot like, and what do you need? Because I think we run out of, we're just house plants with feelings, most of us. So you sort of, you look at a plant that needs repotting and you think, oh, you need some nutrients, you need someone to tickle your roots and get some new soil and get some sunlight, get some hydration, and decide what your next pot looks like. And I love the fact that women's lives are always changing. And even whether you have physically have children or not, we're always kind of growing and morphing. And it's like, what's the next space? Like I see women come to repotted who are quite young and they're like, oh, I want a family and that's my next pot. Or they go, oh, I've got a family, but I want a business. And then I go, cool. And then, or, they've, everyone's left home and they go, now what's in my pot? I've got this tiny wee pot and I want a bigger pot. I want more friends or more hobbies or so really redesigning their lives as to what they want to put into this pot, which is a metaphor for their life. And
I
it's
think
really fun.
some men could do with that as well, you know that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've got a repotted for men coming up, but so far I've only done them for women. So I do male repotting one-on-one. I do a lot of work with men who want to kind of redesign their lives and don't know what they want. I
I
think
know
it's really hard
exactly
being
who
a
I need
man.
to send. I know exactly who I need to send to you for that. So I've got your,
I think
I've
it's
got it.
really hard being a man these days because they're made wrong all the time now. To be a middle-aged white man in the world is bloody difficult right now. And I feel for them because I feel like the the elevator of life's gone woof, and a lot of them got left behind.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and there's a lot of really empowered women and they've missed a step and they're walking around in the dark and I really feel for them.
They're really scared is what I just heard. They're really scared.
Yeah,
And they're
really
damned if they
scared.
do, damned if they do, and
Yeah.
damned if they don't.
Absolutely. It's very scary. And a lot of women aren't interested in that story. They go, I don't care. I'm like, no, well, we need to care because if the men aren't good, the women aren't good. It's
Absolutely.
and men have made women wrong for years, but now us making them wrong isn't actually the solution.
It's really weird because I just heard Spirit saying to me it's all a level. It's
100%.
got it's
It's
all
all
a
a level.
level.
And I can
Yeah,
feel it. And I can feel women have gone woof and men and I'm like, no, this is not going to work. Men
yeah,
putting women down, women putting men down. I've got a real vibe about it. I'm like, that's not how we do this. We have
yeah.
to come together and
It's all a
celebrate our
level.
difference and be better together.
I agree. So you
Yeah.
do workshops as well, not just retreats?
Yeah, do lots of workshops. I've got energy festivals coming up in February and March next year, which is a whole day for people who maybe don't have the time or money to come to a whole retreat, but they just want a day to immerse
Right.
themselves in new energy. So they're February and March, and I think we've got 4 locations around New Zealand for
Oh,
those.
great.
So
And you do
yeah,
and you do talks, and you still do business coaching for people as well?
Yeah,
Do
I
you
do
like
lots of mentoring. Especially love working with business leaders and experts who want to kind of, and it's a pretty robust process. Like I'm not interested in it's the whole self. I want to know about your soul. I want to know about your business. I want to know all your energies and how do we really get under the hood of
Oh,
what
fantastic. So
we're
how do
doing.
people you got so much to offer, a lot of strings to your bow. So how can people get hold of you, Lisa, if they want to
Oh,
book
so
you?
my website is just lisaoneil.co.nz. So LASAONEILL, so two L's, .co.nz. And everything's on there. It's
And your
all there.
books, and they can get their books on there as well,
Books
your
are there,
books.
mentoring's there, yeah, retreats there, energy festivals are there, everything. Oh, and I've got a podcast as well, where it's a solo cast, so I talk to myself.
I love it.
So it's just me twice a week. So Mondays and Fridays, I do like a 10-minute podcast every Monday and every Friday where I'm just sharing thoughts and ideas. And I also have an energy club for people that want, they get a text message every day from me. So 7 days a week, some people don't get nice text messages. So I've set up an energy club where they get a newsletter and a podcast and lots of inspiration and get put into, I've got a beautiful little community of energy clubbers and they get these text messages every day and a special podcast and advanced content and things. So that's $25 a month for people that
Oh,
often I meet
lovely.
people and they go, oh, I need you in my life every day. And I'm like, well, you can have me. You
You
can have
must have
me.
a really good team behind you.
Yeah, I do. I've got an extraordinary team. I've got yeah, Michaela and Zyle who are just unbelievable and they run all the stuff so I can do me.
Oh, I love it. I just love it. You got so much to offer. So thank you so much for your time. I really
You.
appreciate
I
it.
can't wait to
And
come to your tour. I'm going to come and be in the audience. It's going to be awesome.
yay! And I'll wave out to you. That was so cool. Oh,
Amazing.
blessings. Okay. Thanks, Lisa. Okay.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.